welcome back, and it's my pleasure now to show you a live demo. So we heard a lot about features and functionalities, but now we want to show you some of our most recent additions live, no video, live. So I have prepared four big topics. So first one is KIO AI agent. I guess you want to see it in action, and I will show you how it makes you more efficient. We heard the case from DIHK already. Then we talk about our new native analytics. We talk about our native personalization capabilities based on the content variants. We see that. And we also see the native experimentation, so A/B testing, ABN testing, and the like. So this is all new, great new stuff. And yeah, let me start showing this to you. What I've brought today is one of our standard demos. It's CoreMedia Motors, a fictitious electric motor company. And that is the setup for the demo of today. And let us go right into my Chrome. Here we go. So this is our demo. Fantastic. So you see it's a standard website for a B2B manufacturer of these CoreMedia motors. Now I said I want to show KIO, I want to show analytics, we want to show personalization. So the foundation for personalization is, of course, having data, gathering analytics. And I want to give you a brief overview on the front-end flow, but spend most of the time as a business user in Studio, of course. To show you kind of how we cover the intent of a user by tracking the user journey, the path, the click behavior of the user. We have a little demo data inspector in the demo. So this is, of course, just for you to show you what we have covered behind the scene, which data we have covered behind the scene. So you see there's some visitor info about me. In my first visit, you see, hey, I come from Hamburg, obviously. It's a first-time visitor. So there's not much information left here or shown here, but this will change soon. Also, my journey, the pages that I've visited are listed here. So we cover everything. Good, so this is the page. My journey starts. I'm interested in motors, obviously, and I want to be excited here. One thing you will see in the journey is that this main banner, which shows now this racing car, if you will, and the in-wheel motors here, that this will change as it is adapted. It's personalized. It's targeting me as I leave the trace, and it takes into account my intent. Also this one here, that's a little call to action banner, if you will, call to action teaser at the moment. I can just open the chat if I wanted to. This will also change and be personalized. So let me browse further down. Let's explore the site. I see all these motor products, fantastic. And I'm thrilled by this moving image here about these in-wheel motors. So I click here, I want to learn more. I come, not surprisingly, to this landing page, more about the in-wheel motors. I can read a lot of stuff. I see the first time some products coming in, so some prototype packages that I could buy, a hint for more, a banner for more products. So I can see I can also go on, this tag-based navigation, dynamic navigation. You know it from CoreMedia, it's one of our strengths. So maybe I want to see more about future mobility content. I see more content, I see motors, I see everything. Finally, maybe the story, the journey is not really interesting here. Finally, I come maybe to a product detail page and see that one. So I've left now a trace, and I've also let basically the system know what my intent is. Let's take a look at our data inspector. So we see here, not only have we now covered all the different pages that I was browsing, but with our native analytics, we also have now taken into account what I did, and I've been put into different profiles. So I have here a high performance interest, because I was looking for these high-performance motors. And I'm obviously also a professional buyer, if you will. I'm not seeking a new job or whatever. I'm interested in products. And I'm also a lead because, hey, I've taken even a look at products. So that's great. So we cover the analytics, obviously, to build a profile of the user, to detect the intent, and then personalize the experience. Now, it's a B2B journey. I wouldn't buy this product now at this point in time. But if I explored more, I would be interested maybe in this section here, where I see, request a quote. That's probably the ultimate conversion goal, but too early for me. It's always important to think in conversions, not just show some content, but really think about what you want to do, what your business goal is. But this one is interesting. Lets me download a white paper. So that's interesting. I want to learn about that, more about that. I click here, but it's gated content. So I can't just access it. It's gated content. So let me quickly fill in this form here. I'm engineering. I'm looking for more information. And I download the white paper, and I get the white paper. So the content is not relevant, but the interesting thing is now we've not only covered clicks, we have also covered events. I've downloaded a white paper, And obviously, that's also something we have tracked here. So this is now also, I'm now registered here with intent, or the intent is shown. I'm registered for a download. So I know more about this user, what the intent is. And I can leverage all these data that we have with our native analytics. I can, of course, leverage it to personalize the experience. So if I go back to the homepage, then the page is loaded. It takes into account what I've done before. And remember, there was this racing car before, but now it's different. We have a clear goal that we want to achieve. It's simplified here. It's a demo, obviously. But now this clear request, I have someone who's interested in the products. He's even submitted his email to get the specification. Now the next step in my journey would be to ask him to get a quote. And also you see this banner has been personalized now, and we have more touch points enabled here as a side note. So again, a very quick journey, which shows you obviously that the foundation, having your own data and native analytics of CoreMedia, this enables the intent recognition and also the personalization of the experience. And it's important to say that does not necessarily compete with your existing analytics. It's just that we have access to the data so that we can leverage our personalization engine to target the audiences. Good. That was the data view from an end user perspective. Now, if we switch back here into, or not back, if we switch into CoreMedia Studio, you will see it. Fantastic. So here see the experience, obviously, on the tablet. But we talked about data. And let me go to my dashboard. So that's also new. Not sure who knows it already, who's seen it. So this is showing the data, or surfacing the data for the business users. So of course you have your business intelligence in Google Analytics or wherever it is, but this is surfacing the most relevant data for your business users right in Studio. Again, this is CoreMedia Native Analytics. Let me guide you through a bit. So you see on the left-hand side, that's a panel where I show, for example, the page requests, and I can switch to the sessions or the unique visitors. Obviously, I can also say I want to have not the last 30 days, but the last 7 days, and I get a different curve. So I can filter it further. So here are different filters. I can filter for segments, for country, device. I show this that you get a feeling of the comprehensiveness of our analytics here. This filtering for segment is something I've done here or configured here on the next tab. It shows the same data, but here you see how all my how the data is divided across all the segments. And now this is a bit condensed, the view, but obviously, the good thing is I have, of course, a full screen view. So this is the full screen view where I can see, okay, this is the number of leads that I have. This is the high performance motors interest, the registered users, and so on and so forth. So I get the intel not only about the raw data, but also mapped on the different segments that I have defined here. And lastly, on the right-hand side, you can then even break it down, the segments for the day. So let's go maybe here to full screen as well to get more insights. You might see, for example, this red thing here, that segment, the motors, high-performance interest. Interestingly, they don't occur in all the different dates. Sometimes they are missing. So you can derive that input from here. And we come to KIO in a second. This is just the manual view that you see here. So all the data is there, and that's based on our native analytics, and then shown and surfaced here in CoreMedia Studio. Now let's take the next step, going back to PowerPoint. What is my journey for now the next 20 minutes? Actually, I want to show you KIO, I said, and we want to leverage the data. So I start here from my homepage that I have, and I want to create a new landing page that looks like this. You see products in here, you see different things. It's a nice landing page. And the top banner here is also pointing to a new detail page telling you more about some of our products. So it's a lot I want to create now, but I show you how efficiently you can do it, of course, with CoreMedia. So let's take it step by step and start here by creating this landing page. So we go back into Studio, and the simplest way is still, it's 2 clicks away. I create a new page from template. There's different templates that you see here. And by the way, everything you see here, it's available right now. It's not the future, it's the now. So you have the, it's a product campaign page. That's what I wanted to create. And I give it a little name. I call it whatever, innovations. And then with 1 click, I can, of course, create the page in my experience. So what you see, it's not an empty page. It's now based on the template. This content was created, and I can then start editing it. So that was the beginning of the experience, showing the page. If I go back to my my task that I want to do, you see the first banner that should lead to a landing page. So that is also something I could create. KIO will come in. Be patient for a second. I can create using KIO, But I want to do it quicker here. I want to do it via something that some of my colleagues have prepared. I have a little Word file. You see that one. Some of you might know this use case, but it's still very good if someone else has already created something that is approved and that I could put online immediately. So how do we bring it in? I have it here on my Mac Finder, and I can simply drag and drop it into the experience. And this is how easy we can create the entire landing page plus the banner on the homepage. So let's get rid of the stuff that we don't need. And then we see this at least is the first banner of my experience. So am I happy with the banner as it is right now? Obviously not. The image is not cropped correctly. The text is too long. And now we start to bring in KIO. I have in mind the DIHK case, how we improve the efficiency there. So we go into this content, and then let's start maybe with the picture. We can, from the preview, open the image here, and then we can see, okay, if I take a look at all these different crops, then we see, the crops are not fine because the focus point is not correctly detected. And with one click via AI, I can, of course, detect the focus point automatically. It's been detected, and the good thing with CoreMedia is that then all the different views refresh automatically. Fantastic. Done that with one click. And also in the preview, you see this looks now great for the picture. And also talking about the banner that I need for my homepage, you also see that the picture looks nice. But what doesn't look nice is the text here. It's actually too long. Let's fix that. And now we come to KIO. I want to introduce KIO step by step. So we come to KIO. How do we do that? Let's go to the teaser tab here. And so this is the teaser content. And now we start KIO. KIO you can open here from the top right, but you can, from the bottom right, but you can also start it here. I have a few global prompts pre-configured here, and I can simply say, hey, KIO, please optimize the teaser view. KIO works now in the background, but I can also surface what it does. You see here when I have a prompt, optimize the teaser, then KIO collects the context here. You can see that here. KIO tells you what it does. And there's also follow-up actions. So you don't have to type in everything or speak to it. It's also, of course, possible. But you can just select one of these follow-up actions. But let's see what KIO has created. Fantastic. This is now a shorter text that works fine. This is all great. For the users who know Studio here already, you might see this little light bulb. So that always indicates if something is not ideal or maybe even wrong. So let's take a look here what it says. What it says is that there's two not really issues, but there's an information that there's no related content, and also SEO is missing. Okay, SEO, that's fairly empty. Related content, also fairly empty. So I could now ask KIO to fix it one by one, but it's way simpler than that. You can simply go to KIO and say, fix the issues. I don't care what the issues are, and watch this one here and watch this one here. You will see that KIO will now take care of this and fixes all the issues. So that's no magic. This is just the real software. This is nothing that is fake here or whatever. It's the real software. Good. So I'm done with the issues. I have now some related content here. You see that here, and also the SEO has been fixed. So it's not ideal actually. I could also say add 2 more related articles. Let's do it this way. Spelling mistake, the language, doesn't matter. KIO will always understand me and do what it does. You see here, 2 more articles have been put in here. And that's actually what I wanted. If I take a look at the preview, you see this is my story here with a picture, some text, and the related content. We compare this now with what we wanted to do. And we're here. It looks fairly done, but one thing is missing. It's a bit hard to read. There's actually the conversion goal in mind. This is a banner, request a quote. I want to bring people closer to my ultimate conversion goal. So that's missing. Do I now have an idea how I bring in this request a quote banner? I don't know how this works, but I know what? I have KIO. So I open KIO and I have prepared a prompt here. Where is it? Here it is. Embed a link to request a quote teaser after the first paragraph. Very simply put. So I do this, and now watch what's happening here. I'm not doing anything. It's no KIO doing. And it's live. It's always exciting to see if it does what it should do. Here we go. Come on, KIO. Don't leave me alone. Hello, one moment. It's taking longer than it should, but here we go. Now this link has been added, request a quote, and I can take a look how it looks like. Here's the link already. It doesn't look too visual, so let me say it should be embedded as a link, but here we go, request a quote. I did not need to find the content, search for the content, check the content, whatever. I just said, hey, KIO, I want a link to this request a quote element. And this is probably something that you want to embed more and more and more to bring people to this request a quote. So again, that's the basic thing. You don't need to have much knowledge. Just tell KIO or ask KIO what it should do, and then KIO does it for you. Fantastic. So that is actually the page that I wanted to create. And that's what I have done now, so I save my work. Let's go back then to the other page where I started, to the landing page, which is more structured in a way. And that's also, of course, fully supported by KIO. So we go back to that page and see, okay, the hero banner is there, but below we still have our dummy placeholder products, if you will. And we also miss this related content structure. So let's add this via KIO. So we open this slot here. We open KIO, and I have prepared something, not to type too much. Here we go, this one. Add 3 related articles into content slot 1. So this is our content slot 1. I do this, and then KIO collects all the context rather, and is working with that, and watch this content slot 1. Here we go. Now here are the 3 elements that it has added. So take a look at the preview, and that looks already what it is. So it's always a question, also the customer, the IHK told you, you don't want to expose everything to KIO. I could have also started with, hey, create a new landing page. And for the demo, everyone would be excited. But in a real life, would you do this? Should create any landing page? No. Yeah, you create a landing page, and then you say, here, I want to have that. Make a suggestion here. Do that. Yeah, that's a step-by-step approach. And that lets you be in control in a real life scenario. Good, that was the related content. And then finally, I have these three dummy products. It's the same thing. Yeah, would it help if I say add any products? No, it wouldn't help. You know, particularly some particular products that you want to add, and that's the little hint that I can give KIO. So we bring it in again and say, use this one. Replace the existing content in slot 2, this one, by 3 of the GT star product teasers. So that's some of our motors. We have a GT 300, 400, 500, 600, whatever. So I don't care which it is, but this has to be this product line. So that's the hint I give KIO. So let's do this, replace it. So take a look here. At the moment, you have the dummy teasers, and then KIO collects the context. And here we go. Now it has replaced everything by these 3 product banners. Yeah, that is really what it did. Take a look at the preview, and that's it. So comparing it with what I should have done, my task here, that was really simple, yeah. And I did not have to do it all on my own. I did not have to care about SEO or metadata or whatever. That's what KIO did for me and helped me a lot to create this. Fantastic. So I have done this now, and obviously I want to now publish this out, let's say. So we go here, simply start the publication and let everything run. So now the big thing is, great, I've created the content, but how does it work? How does it resonate with my audience? So that's where analytics comes into play, obviously. So you might have noticed, some of you already, here's a little metrics tab, which is also new. And this gives you access to the analytics for this content. Now, obviously it's 0, I've just created it. Yeah? So there's no traction in my demo content anyway. We have a little simulation, you see it below here, just for demo purposes. So I could say, well, now that I have this page online, how do the metrics look like after 3 days? Yeah, again, it's a simulation. So then I see, nice, there's some page requests, fantastic. But oh, there's something red here. The exit rate, 6.2%. I lose 6.2% of my traffic on this page. Not so ideal. Maybe I take another look after 5 days. 7.5%. Oh my God, yeah, I should maybe act. So that is some insight that I get here. The other question is, which audience do I lose the traffic? Is it overall, or are there some specifics for certain audiences? And that's what we can also see here as a default product. You see here now I get the traffic divided by segments. And what catches my eye is this number here. So in my high performance motors interest segment, which I wanted to target actually, I have the worst experience ever. So I lose a lot of people. I need to act. Yeah, that's the thing. And by the way, again, we have some extension here for our KIO as well. So I've spotted this now all manually, but I could have also asked KIO here, get some, how do my pages perform, for example. And then it uses, for example, the our MCP server, another agent, to get the analytics data. Maybe that's also the time to show this one here. That it's a bit hard. So there's different the context. Yeah, if I expand this here, you see this is the content I'm working on. This is the intent that KIO has recognized, and this is the agent that it used. So per default, it uses the read-only agent. But if this is not sufficient, and that's what it says here, he switched to other agents that does the job. So KIO here is multi-agent aware, and you can plug in also additional other agents to go to your connected systems, be it your other analytics data or your CRM system or what have you. So that's all there. And again, then KIO could show you the insights and could also break it down further or recommend some actions. So in our case, I've done it manually. And again, I wanted to now tackle this challenge that my exit rate is too high. So we go back here to my presentation because what a fancy animation. There's a high exit rate on that page. That is something I need to tackle. How do I tackle this now? I need to, of course, I want to target my audience, the high performance motors interests. And for that, we have a new capability. You see that here, I can create a variant of a content item and tie it to a certain segment. So I can say I create a variant and target a certain other audience so that there's different content shown here depending on which segment I belong to. So my task now is create a new variant. We go back to Studio and go here. And then there's this little plus thing. And here I can create now a new variant. We come to the A/B test in a second. So with one click, I can create a new variant. And here you can see it immediately puts me onto the Personalization tab where I can steer the segmentation. So which is the audience that I want to create this variant for. And then I have a little chooser. I can also start typing here, and I want to target my high performance interest folk. Fantastic. So now I've created this. I've created this variant and targeted it, but it's still the same content. And that's of course what I want to fix. I want to have different content. I want to target now the audience. And how do I do it? Manually or no? I use KIO, obviously. We practice this a bit more. So KIO is what I use now to do that. So KIO, I want to target someone else. What should I do? And we do it step by step again. First thing is I say, suggest 4 title alternatives or alternative titles targeting engineers of high performance motors. So I do that, and KIO is creative, obviously. And KIO will tell me, give me these 4 different variants that I want to say. So maybe I like, I don't know, the second one. I simply say, I don't know, apply the second. How do I apply this to this variant? I think I've prepared it as well, but anyway, I've done that. Watch this one here, the article title. This will now change. So KIO changed the article title here. This is much more compelling. I also want to rewrite the text slightly, maybe only, but that's important, of course. So I have here the first paragraph, which I want to change. So I go here, I have a prepared prompt, rewrite the first paragraph to be more compelling for high-performance motors enthusiasts. So watch this one here, electric motors have become, and now KIO thinks and is working and is recreating that. So here we go. Now you've seen that here. The thing is, what you hopefully get, KIO is not restricted in any way. Yeah, KIO is free. You can speak to it. You can change everything. You can say, create a new landing page, change this paragraph, rephrase this a bit. There's no limit and there's nothing holding you back being creative. We haven't talked about the playbooks. We can do that later on, but that's the main message. KIO is very, very flexible, but you are still in control. That's important. So I've done that one here. Talking about being in control, you might have noticed that as well. Whenever KIO changes something, I can also review this one here, and I can easily show the differencing. So with one click, I can say, hey, what did KIO change actually? So it changed this text here. This is now new. So I'm in full control to check what KIO has done, and the content is also marked as being changed by KIO. Fantastic. So I'm happy maybe with the text, but one thing is the visual thing, so the image. And now I could, of course, search for the image, but there again, there's something new because now we have semantic search. What is semantic search really? Before I use KIO, let me show you what it is. So we have the traditional search. There's the pictures in the system. And if I search for, I don't know, for motors, I will find pictures. But what about people with glasses, because I have some. Nothing if you use the traditional metadata keyword-based search. But with the semantic search, you will find pictures with people wearing glasses, or I don't know, smiling people, however you spell that, people like this, smiling people. So with our semantic search, we understand the content. It's working for text and also for imagery, so you can better find content and associate it to it. That's working manually, but you can also use KIO. So use KIO. Here we go. Where's the thing? Use semantic search to find a great image for motor innovations. Yeah? And then KIO will take a look and retrieve some content and do some suggestions. And here we go. There's 4 pictures that it has suggested. I can have a little preview here, for example. And the first thing, the red one, that's the one that I want to use. And then I can simply say, hey, KIO, link the first image to this variant. Then take a look at the left-hand side where KIO will work on. So he's on it. And then he will change it immediately. Come on. I'm impatient, yeah? Here you go. So now you see KIO has switched it. So again, another example of how it can change everything, the entire experience. Fantastic. So this is now my variant, a different title, different image, a different text here. And if I take a look at what I wanted to do, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And again, the question is now, how do I bring it live, this variant? Yeah, what do I have to do? Well, nothing special. You just have to publish it. So on the right-hand side, I see there's one new item I need to publish. And I only publish it now. I started, the publication is successful. And this is when I'm live. So, and we will take care, our headless server or our rendering engine will take care of giving the right content to the right audiences. Again, then I can come back to the metrics, take a look how they develop over time. Again, we started with a very bad exit rate, and then guess what? After 7 days, it's better. 2.3, after 10 days, it's even better. Okay, this is a demo fake, yeah, but you get the idea from a story perspective. This now really worked out and worked nicely. Good. Where are we? We've created that and fancy animation. We've optimized the exit rate. Yeah. So fantastic. This is really a business goal. I'm not talking here about, hey, there's some different content and maybe this content works. No, I've done something to increase my conversion. I've optimized the exit rate here. And I've given my audiences what they want. And that's the nice thing. Now, the final question is obviously, maybe this content would work better for everyone. Or maybe before I do that, sorry, I forgot something. What I wanted to show is that these content variants are immersive. Yeah. So we talked at the beginning about this personalized banner here on the homepage, and that's an example I wanted to show you. If I take a look here at the personalization slide here, tab, you see that for this banner on the homepage, I have so many different rules set up here. So this just give you an idea of what you could do to target your audiences better. Yeah. So if I'm in an e-commerce environment, if someone has an unfinished checkout, show a different banner. If someone is registered for a download, that's what we saw, show the request a quote. Yeah. If you have a Google campaign and you want to pick people up on the website, you create a content variant and that's it. So the concept of content variants for personalization is an immersive concept. And you can personalize everything. We come to that in a second. But you see here even complex rules you can easily create. But now we come to the A/B test, because the question is, okay, hey, 2 different variants, maybe one works better than the other in any case. Yeah. So how about creating a new A/B test, again, with a specific quote, with a specific goal? Then that means, again, this request a quote. How do I do that? So I have my variant already. Yeah, let's go to that variant that we have created. And here we go on the personalization tab. And then I can maybe easily say, hey, we want to create an A/B test. So we go here. Oh, now I've created a new variant. By the way, I did not want to do that. But anyway, it does not, or does it change the case? Let me think. Actually, I want it to be on that one. And simply create an A/B test. Here we go. So now you see this is now the A/B test. So we have a name. It's in draft mode. I have here my control. So this is my baseline of the content. And then I have my variant with the red image. And these work then or run together in an A/B test. What are the rules for the A/B test? This is here in the settings. You can set it for specific days, weeks, whatever. You can also have a custom format, obviously. So this is all configurable. The important thing is that you can specify the target, what the conversion goal, if you will. So in my case, it's all boiling down to the get a quote event. So I can simply filter here for all the events in the system. And here we see a lot of events regarding I've registered for specification, whatever. But my ultimate goal is here to find the conversion, the best performing content to help me convert in terms of requesting a quote. So that's what I have here. I can set the distribution then if I wanted to. And I can also say if I want to have an automatic winner at the end or a manual winner. So in our case, let's have an automatic selection. Fantastic. Then we run the A/B test. Can you see that here at the bottom? Exactly. So this guides you through this process. Now the A/B test is running, as you can see here. And I also can follow or take a look at the results as they come in over time. Now, obviously, when this data arrives, you will see it's all 0, but you get the idea how it looks. You have the control, you have the challenger. By the way, you can have A, B, C, D, E tests if you wanted to have it as well. This is just a simple form of A/B tests, and you can follow the results. Good. And then maybe after some time, as I said, either the test runs only for this time that is specified, 14 days in my case here, and then the winner is determined. I can also at any point in time when I see some variant is performing way better than the other, outperforming the other, I can also finish this A/B test early. Let's do that here and promote the winner. That's the important thing. I can then select the winner and say, hey, maybe my challenger was really better. Imagine there were numbers, was really better. And then I can select the winner. And finally, even if I want to do that, I can also promote the winner to say, hey, the winning variant is the second one that I have created. And that means that then for all the content that we show, this second variant is shown to all the users, to my entire audience. So I really got rid of the other variant that I want to have. So this again is another mean to create and optimize your conversion and make your content as efficient as you want in terms of achieving your conversion goal. Fantastic. Nice animation. We've increased the conversion and have the A/B test. Good. That was mainly it that I wanted to show you. I hope you liked it. It's a real life software again over there. So we've seen the native analytics. Again, it's not competing with any of your existing analytics. It's just there to get the insight into the bit for the business users and to use it when you set up variants, when you target audiences, and to detect the intent of your audiences. So that was the native analytics. We've seen our KIO AI agent, also all the other agents that you could plug in, like the analytics agent. We have seen the native personalization targeting users, and we've seen how we can now test and optimize it with our native capabilities. All that is new. And before I conclude, the final word is then on the immersiveness again, because that's the key thing. It's not that you can only target the main homepage or the main banner or whatever. And let me show you one thing. If we go to the homepage, here we go. An extreme example. So say this is the standard homepage where you have obviously motors. They have a personalized navigation here for you, which only shows motors at the beginning and moving generations here. But when I say, how would it look like if I optimized it for people coming to my website to look for a job, so career interest, then you see basically we have changed everything. So the header navigation is now different. The personalized navigation is now different. The hero banner, okay, that's a simple example. This call to action banner as well. But even if you scroll down, the contact is different. Here's now a career contact, or in the footer. So the message there is you can personalize everything with our concept of content variants. You can even have a personalized CSS if you want to have, a different style to present things, talking differently to audiences. And that's the fundamental thing. It's not just an A/B test or we target the hero banner differently. You can swap our content dynamically all the time. And the best thing is you don't have to care about it because our engine does the job for that. Good. I hope you liked it. That was it. Come and talk to us about these topics. We have a demo booth. It will be so much into conversations. It was partially empty, I saw. But anyway, we have it. Talk to us. Get your personal demo. We want to learn more about you. And that was it. Some of the new stuff.